It's the end of January, a month into the new year, and already a third of the way through the first 90 days. We're talking about business for those starting out or looking for growth. Welcome to the Business MegaBrew.
Oh, thanks for that, Michelle. It's a nice little intro. So welcome to our podcast and videocast. We're calling it the Business MegaBrew because Michelle and I are going to be talking all things business, marketing, data, just generally challenges that we see and things that you might be facing yourself. So I'm Gill. My business is CherryAid Marketing and I'm a marketing strategist. So I work with businesses to make sure that the marketing they're doing is worthwhile, is going to get them in front of the right people, so that they can build relationships with them and basically sell their products or services. Michelle, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Michelle Molyneux. I run Michelle Molyneux Business Consulting. I've been working with quality and compliance for 15 years, and for the last 8 years doing data protection and compliance as well. I'm a certified action learning coach facilitator, and I support businesses primarily within the service sector to understand and implement data protection, and write those dreaded policies that no one likes doing, wants to do, and has, no appetite to do them because they can be as boring as hell.
It's
So
fair
yeah.
to say that you love data and policies.
Oh yes, yeah. All things technical and all things just that everyone squirms at. And a fun fact, if you'd have asked me 25 years ago, or even 30 years ago, would you have your own business? I'd have laughed in your face.
Wouldn't we all? I don't think
Yeah.
when probably 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, I don't think having your own business was maybe as popular as it is now or as easy to do as it is now. I think, I don't know, maybe when you're fresh out of school or college or whatever, setting up your own business isn't necessarily what you think about.
No, I think it's a lot more focus and spotlight on entrepreneurs and souls and being self-employed, that it's more appealing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's completely bizarre how things turn around.
Yeah, definitely. So, we thought we'd talk about what we're noticing is coming up in January, what's coming up this year, but also talk about how last year was. So, Michelle and I met at the end of last year, didn't we? And
Yes.
I think it's fair to say that we were a little bit
Peeved.
subdued. What did you say?
Peeved.
Subdued.
Yeah. I think we both reflected that it was a difficult year for both of us and for
Yeah.
what we've been hearing from a lot of other businesses, and that we were honest about where we were and what we were thinking, and not just go, yeah, everything's fine, everything's hunky-dory, when from what my interactions are with my clients, they're struggling.
Yeah. I think I definitely saw almost a pause in people making decisions and a pause in almost like a cautiousness of, yeah, I want to do that, but not just at the minute
Yeah.
kind of feeling. But now we're into the new year. You've just been telling me how busy you've been, and my January's been really busy too.
Yeah, it's been busy, but I think I'm still getting a lot of caution and a lot of
Are you?
cautiousness.
Okay.
The work I've been doing this month was something that had been booked in November, December time, so something I knew was going to be on the plate. There's still quiet on the inquiries front.
Okay.
I know there's still a lot of businesses who are still finding it unsure until things settle down financially around the implications of the budget.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think with the budget implementing more cost for employers from a national insurance point of view and things like that, do you think from a contractor point of view that will be a benefit, or do you think it will just mean there's even less budget to be able to put towards those sorts of services?
I think it's going to be both. I think in the short term, it's going to do what we've seen in the fact that self-employed contractors, whether it be the marketers like me being business consultant, it's going to slow things down until businesses can actually say yay or nay on what their budgets are. And this is what I'm seeing already. It's cautious. But I've also heard and seen on LinkedIn people say that their employer has gone to them and said, well, we can get X doing that as over in Thailand or Malaysia for £5. So you either need to keep, if you want to keep your job, you might need to take a wage cut. And whether it be employed or self-employed, if cost is going to be the first factor, then it's going to be an issue. It shouldn't be the only factor. I think we need to actually promote that there is a great deal of talent and a great deal of wealth of knowledge within the UK that should, shall I say, gazump the factors of cost. Yeah, cost comes into it, but we should be looking past just the balance sheet. What value do the people in this country add to your business, whether it be employed or self-employed?
Okay.
What about you?
I don't know. I'm not seeing any. So, in terms of conversations I'm having now, people are being slightly less cautious. However, I think it's just going to take, like you say, it's just going to take time, isn't it? Just to get things back the way, well, not back the way they were, but back to a sort of steady stream, if you like. I'd be interested to know if you're watching this or listening to this, what your thoughts are. So do drop us a message or tag up one of our social media posts and let us know how you've been finding things, because it'd be interesting to know what you've been finding too.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd talk about things we're doing to get our business ready for the coming year and what we've been doing this month to get ourselves ready. I don't know about you, but I don't really set resolutions. Do you, Michelle?
No, because I just see January the 1st as a new day. A new day doesn't matter. It's just a different year. I'm only one day older.
It does make you refresh stuff, though. I think you just say, actually, now I can just give a bit of time. Well, ideally, I'd have done this in December, but I didn't. So I did it in January, so that I was ready to do it in January, if you know what I mean. And that's what I would advise clients to do as well.
Well, I did do a review and I did do some reflection in December and
Yeah.
look at where my business is and where do I want it to go. So I'm slightly amending the direction of my business. And we discussed this, I think, in December when we saw each other, in the fact that I'm not going to focus primarily on. I love working with SMEs, but we found that there's their appetite is there for wanting to put data protection in place, but they haven't
Yeah.
got the budget. Oh, there goes my clock chiming. So what I'm going to do is pivot slightly, still do the consultancy, still do all the audits and the policy writing for clients that want, needs, and got the budget for. But I'm going to start creating courses for businesses, online courses that they can do to learn about it and implement it across a range of topics.
Brilliant. So I think it's fair to say that you've done some business goal setting for the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
I
it's one
always say,
thing. Have you
go on.
got that? Oh, that yeah.
What were you going to say? Sorry.
Have you got that far yet?
No. All honesty, no.
Well,
So I'd set my goals last year and I kind of achieved them, but I'm still kind of in that, oh, I'm not really sure what I want this year's goal to be. So I'm just sort of taking my time and working through it rather than I'd normally go at it like a bull in a china shop and go, I'm just going to do this. But actually, this year I'm kind of like, oh, just take a bit of time to think about what I actually want. And I think it's gone a bit deeper and it's gone a bit, well, why am I doing this and what do I want out of it and what hours do I want to work and all of those sorts of things that I haven't thought about probably for 5 years. It feels like a bigger picture this time rather than it just being this year I want to have that many clients and I want to have them doing this service. It's more, I don't know, it feels bigger.
yeah. I do. I'm still part of a membership with Amanda Johnson from VA training,
Yeah.
and she does a goal setting every year. She gets us all together and we do an online training. And she knows I hate it because she gets me to sit down every year and do a 10-year, a 5-year, a 3-year, and a 1-year goal.
Ooh.
And she doesn't just do it for business.
Yeah.
You've got family relationships, health,
Yeah.
business goals, training, and about 10 things that she gets you to list down. And on all of them, you've got 10, 5, 3, 1. And she does it backwards. So you've got to do your 10-year goal first.
Oh.
Where do I want to be in 10 years? I don't even want to think about my age in 10 years, let alone where I want to be.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah,
Okay.
it is interesting though. So if you could think of that, where do I want to be in 10 years and what's going to get me there,
Then
then you
yeah.
can work your back.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's how I work in marketing is what do you want to achieve?
yeah,
Right, how are we going to do that? It's
yeah,
it's goal setting, isn't it? But I don't know, it just feels bigger this time and I feel like I need to work around everything, not just business.
yeah.
So
I've got a business goal, a CPD learning goal, and I've got a personal goal. So I've got
good.
three
Yeah.
big goals.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like I said, if Amanda didn't sit me down,
you wouldn't
or
do.
I go and book onto her training every year.
Yeah.
So big up to Amanda Johnson for giving me a kick up the backside for doing it every year. But yeah,
Yeah. Good. So that's the sort of starting point, isn't it, for a lot of businesses is what are we going to achieve in 2025? But I think I've done some reviews of processes as well, as I've been going through the month. Like, do I want to be on this social media platform? And does this CRM work for me? And
mm.
things like that. Have you done something similar?
I've come off one particular platform
Which,
completely.
which platform?
X, Twitter.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
a lot. a
Yeah.
lot of that. Have you started using Blue Sky instead, or Threads or anything?
No, I've not
You've
used
just
started just
okay. It's interesting.
um
I'm coming off X and moving on to Blue Sky.
ooh,
I'm also
I'll,
trying to encourage them to get on Threads as well. This is a similar sort of platform.
just so everyone's aware, I have got a pen and paper, so I am going to be making notes myself. So Thread and Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I
Threads
will
is
have.
linked to your Instagram, but Blue Sky was started by, oh, I can't remember his name, and I can't remember where he came from either, but he knows what he's doing. I think he was something to do with Twitter originally.
I've heard of that. Yeah,
Mm.
I will have a look at both of them and
Have a look
see
at
what I'm
both.
doing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've come off. Um, I've deleted the profiles on uh, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And look at that. But interesting, I'm looking at my CRM,
All right.
and I've been doing some due diligence, and I've had previous CRMs, so and I've been having a chat with my VA and going back. This is what we're on, and are we happy with it? And the biggest thing, my VA is going to go nuts at me. I'll be honest, I don't use my CRM as much as I should do and for what it's used because it's an all-purpose thing. So it's got my invoicing, my calendar. It's at the moment I'm using Moxie, but I have used Plutio in the past.
Okay.
And I've been doing due diligence on both of them this week. And I've literally just before this recording this, I actually sent a message to my VA and go, right, have a look at both of these. If we're not happy with X or Y, then I'll shift everything over to the other one, or vice versa. And yeah, it is interesting going through and looking at your software and going deleting stuff off. And for me, I'm looking at it from I'm going to look at it from 2 points of view. Sometimes we have subscriptions that we're paying for that we don't use.
Absolutely. No, I've had
Um,
that. And it's well worth going through them and going, actually, one, do I use it? Or two, how often do I use it? And could I get away without using it? Because a lot of the time, you don't need to pay for the subscription.
no, I get a lot of stuff off AppSumo. So I get the lifetime license when it's first being developed, but I do my due diligence on it. So I always check where's it located. So due diligence for software for me, doing data protection is what data am I going to be putting on there?
Mm-hmm.
What security is it? Where's it being hosted? Where's your data being hosted and stored? And just doing some checks around that. But are they going to carry on updating? Sometimes you get some really duff stuff on AppSumo, and once they've run out of money, a lot of times they die a death.
Right.
But a lot of the times they come up with some really good stuff, or the developers come up with some really good stuff. But by doing that, you can bounce from one software to another to another.
Right.
And for me, with my data protection head on, it's how many platforms have you got your data on?
Yeah.
So going through your list of software and your subscriptions, it's not only deleting the subscription, but deleting the data on those platforms as well.
Yeah.
So it's doing a double whammy cleanse.
Yeah. I think the other thing that we were going to talk about was policy reviews. And one of the things I've done is updating my privacy policy because there have been things that I've added in. I refreshed my website last year. There's things I've added in, and you don't always know that they're collecting data. So you need to make sure that whatever you're using on your website is actually declared in your privacy policy. But there's all sorts of things like that, and I'm sure you will tell us loads of them. But you think, oh, I've got some terms and conditions or whatever, but actually it's worth going over them and seeing where you should be updating them and what you should be saying.
Yeah, I try and look at like things like my privacy policy and cookie policy at least every 12 months. But like
Yeah.
say, if there's ever any updates, I want to get it done sooner.
Yeah.
But one thing I've done this month is look at my data map, and I've got a data and software map that basically goes through what data do I collect, but has my software list. So I go through and review all the, like going back, say, to go back to the cleansing and subscriptions, review all the policies that,
Yeah.
but also reviewing all of their privacy policies. Have they changed?
Okay.
So sometimes it's good to review not just internally our policies, but have a quick look of other people's policies and see what's going on. But yeah, my privacy policy is on my list for this weekend.
Oh, good. How exciting for you for your weekend. Oh, dear. Good to see you getting the work-life balance right there, Michelle. Weekend on your
Have you not seen the weather forecast? It's reduced 80 mile an hour winds. So I'm not.
no, I have not. Oh dear. So the other thing, I think we've covered most things, but the thing that I encourage people. Oh, go on. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I was going to ask you, what do you say or do about social media platforms?
As in policies?
Yeah, or do you promote the use of them?
That's an it depends question. Answer that is because so for me, social media is useful for you to be posting on and engaging on if your audience is there. I think you can spend an awful lot of time. Am I going off at a tangent? Am I answering what you're asking me?
Yeah, because we talk about subscriptions and things like that. So is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
do you think they're relevant?
is it worth your time and effort coming up with a post, coming up with a caption, engaging on that platform if your audience is there? If they're not there, what are you doing? But I would also say, in the majority of cases, it helps to build relationships, but it's not necessarily a sales tool. As in, it helps for you to demonstrate your knowledge and get people to, know what you like, know how you talk, like I'm doing on this video now, and know what you're all about. But it doesn't necessarily make them take the next step, to make your customers take the next step to say, oh, I really want to work with you, kind of thing. And I think there are probably other things that you could be doing that will get you better results.
Yeah,
So I
it's that
think,
visibility thing, isn't it?
yeah, and I think the thing is, we've all been conditioned over the past 10, 15 years that social media, if you're a business owner, you need to be on there and you need to be posting on there and you need to be, that is your marketing. And to a good degree, yes, I agree. However, I do think there are other things you could be doing that you're overlooking that would be a better use of time. So yeah, I could get on the soapbox about it, but I nearly did, but I didn't. I didn't rant too much. I think the thing is, there's a place for it, but be careful about how much time you're spending doing it.
Yeah. I think what I did when I did my planning and everything was look at not just marketing and social media marketing, but incorporated networking into that
Yeah,
marketing plan.
absolutely.
Because when I looked at where my referrals were coming through or where the business was coming from,
Yeah,
a lot of it, when I was a VA, a lot of it came through LinkedIn
yeah,
and socials, but
yeah,
a lot of it now is coming through referrals and people that I know who I've
Yes.
already built that relationship with. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I say, if you're on a limited budget,
Yeah.
where is that money best spent? And
Yeah.
again, that work-life balance, and we're going to change it from balance to integration,
Okay.
because it's not scales. Um, I'm gonna say work-life integration because it's all intermingled at X, Y, and Z and whatnot. And I've lost my chain of thought. Menopause brain. What were we talking about?
Social media and
Yeah, how much time do you want to spend on that social media away from your business?
yeah.
Um, from doing what you need to do to get those clients.
Yeah.
Um,
That leads me
also,
on to go on.
how much is it going to impact on your family time?
Hmm. I think social media has kind of become its own industry within marketing now. And I think it can become all consuming if you're not careful. But what you were saying then about time and it eating into your business, and also your family time. What I was going to say was if you're doing your marketing planning for this year, one of the key things I always ask is how much time have you got to devote to that? How much time can you build into your week? Because some people probably don't have any time, or some people can say, oh, I can do an hour. Well, okay, if you can do an hour, what's going to be the best use of that time? Because otherwise you could do something and it not be worthwhile.
Yeah, it's actually making sure that you've got that consistent approach, isn't it,
Yeah.
to do it? And
Yeah.
I think consistency, whether it be social media or any aspect of your business, has to be fundamental.
Yeah.
Because I think it's that word that got bantered about quite a lot the last couple of years, especially around social media marketing. You have to be consistent.
Yeah.
But it's
Do with anything that you do for
yeah,
marketing.
yeah. You've got to be
It
consistent in
was,
sending your invoices out. You've got to be consistent in doing your accounts. Otherwise, come
yeah.
December, you're going to be panicking to get to the
But it's like, you know, if you're not consistent with it and you just do it once and then you go, oh, it's not worked. Well, no, it's not. It's like anything, isn't it? If
yeah,
you've said it once, oh dear, you need to say
it's
it
like,
6 times.
yeah,
So
it's like
yeah.
setting off that lone firework. It's like,
Yes.
what was that? Where did
Was
that
that?
come from?
Yeah. Do it again.
And then you sat there waiting, go, where's the next one? And
So
then
the other thing to remember is not everybody is going to see what you put out there. And so it's okay to repeat that message just in a slightly different way.
yeah, what was it? Is it 7 touch points or 10 touch points?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it
It's
keeps
a lot.
changing.
Yeah.
So
So should we talk about what we're predicting we'll see in marketing and data this year?
go on then. You start first.
Okay, so one of the things I think we're going to see more of is sustainability. So particularly in marketing, I think people have been talking about it on and off for a long time now. But I think this year, I think they're going to start getting more serious about it. And actually, the amount of businesses that I know that are doing it and doing it well, but not talking about it. They're not just planting a tree. They're really, really trying and really putting it into their processes and putting it into their buildings and all of that sort of stuff, but they're not shouting about it. So I think we'll start to see those that actually are not. I'm not talking greenwashing or anything like that. I think we'll see the genuine ones that are actually really trying and really doing a really good job of it. So I'm keen to see more of that, whether it's in their product or service or building or whatever. I think it'll be good to see that.
Yeah, it's good to shout about. I think that's one of the things that we don't do well in the UK
Yeah.
is shout about what we celebrate what we do, especially as individuals. We're
Yeah.
okay doing it maybe for a business if the business wins a reward. But I don't know about you. I don't like putting myself forward for awards.
No,
No.
no,
So yeah,
no.
yeah. It just
If
feels
I'm asking on, I go for it. Not for me, no.
no, no.
Yeah.
I think
Do
for
as
me,
I say, not as I do, is what I say.
well, I think for me, putting myself out there as an introvert, and you might not think that me doing a podcast, but I've known Gill for a few years now, and if I wasn't with Gill and with doing this conversation with a friend, I don't think I'd be doing this at all. I'd be yeah, go away. So when everyone goes, you need 2 videos, yeah, forget
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so that's another massive thing, video. It's been
Yeah,
creeping up and up and up and up, and it's not going anywhere.
no, it's
Videos,
one.
live streaming, all of that. People want to see it.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I think I'm going to have to suck it up and just do it.
Yeah, do it.
I remember somebody saying at a training last year, a comfort zone is not a comfort zone. Having that saying, I'm in my comfort zone, it's a safe space. No, it's not. You're restricted.
Yeah.
It's a restricted zone because you're not stepping out. And
Okay.
that line of comfort might be scary, but it's an invisible line. And you're
Okay.
scared of an invisible line. So step over it and go because then you're making things wider.
I
So
see.
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to step outside my comfort zone and I'm
Okay.
going to start doing some videos. They might not be live, but they'll be some videos.
Good.
Yes.
What about
Okay.
you? Have you got any predictions?
Okay, I'm going to take it to the boring stuff. So we said
Okay.
goodbye to the DPDI bill. So the Conservatives brought out that data protection, digital whatever bill. Was nearly getting through the House of Lords, and then the election was called, and it died a death. However, the Labour Party have brought out the Data Use and Access Bill, which is currently in the House of Lords, which takes some of the best bits out of the Conservative bill and left out all the controversy. So that's something that's on the horizon. AI, and AI.
Yeah, that was my thing as well.
Yeah. So,
Everyone.
oh God, yeah, it's everywhere. And I think we need to actually look at it from two perspectives. One, how great it is to use within your business.
Yeah.
Make sure you document it down, what you're using it for, how you're using it. Also be transparent with your clients if you're using it for their personal data. And make sure you've got it closed down so that it's not being shared on an open system and training everywhere else. Interesting, the UK signs the first global treaty on AI. And then we've also got the EU AI Act came into force. So it's that's something else that might impact. We haven't got legislation in the UK yet, but watch this space.
Yeah, they're working on it, aren't they?
Yeah, especially it'd be interesting to see what the government plans are after them saying last week, we're going to have all this, we're going to use AI, we're going to embrace AI. So, yeah, how are they going to embrace AI while not hitting people's jobs, encouraging growth, but also keeping it within data privacy and cybersecurity? So, yeah, watch this space because there's.
Okay. Yeah, and we'll do little updates if we hear more on it, won't we, throughout the
Yeah,
year?
definitely.
Okay. So, was there anything else that you think is upcoming?
No, but I'm going to look forward to February because February have got they've got 2 interesting days. One is Fun.
That'll be interesting, Michelle.
Well, one is called the Safer Internet Day.
Okay.
I think there's also I think there's a clean desk day or clean your computer day.
Yeah.
And then there's also Valentine's Day. As a
Well,
single person, that's new. So I'm going to ask you, what fun marketing angle can SMEs do to show the love for their customers without being too salesy or smarmy?
okay. So the immediate one that comes to head, oh, you sprung that question on me. The immediate one that comes to my head is reward their loyalty. So if you haven't got a loyalty scheme or a referral scheme or, your email marketing, if you're not offering them special offers, offer them a special offer. Show them how much you love them and how much you appreciate their business in February. That's a good one. I'm just trying to think now. That's the one that springs to mind the most. Obviously, that's more business to consumer. I suppose if it's business to business, it's a simple thank you, isn't it? Thank you for being a client. Thanks for your business. I'm loving working with you, kind of thing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Um,
I'm going to turn it around, and
yeah.
I'm going to not just show like your clients, show the business that's providing you a service.
Oh yeah.
So give that testimonial, give the
Absolutely.
review.
Yeah.
I was wasn't reading. I was on a call with somebody last year who said giving a testimonial is great. However, a lot of businesses are moving away from the testimonial on your website and asking more for Google reviews because they are more authentic. You can actually see, yes, that's the business, that's the person, and it's less likely to be amended
Yeah.
or the snippet. So they've said 3 great words
Yeah.
and you use that. So
The other way is on LinkedIn, isn't it? You can ask people for recommendations on there.
yeah.
But yeah, if you can get them to be independently done, almost not
Yeah.
tailored to your website or whatever, then that is a really good way of doing them.
So have you got anything coming up in February?
I can't think of anything other than Valentine's Day. No, not marketing wise. There is a trade show called Spring Fair. I'm pretty sure that's in February. And that's where lots of product businesses get to showcase their products to retailers and buyers and people in the retail industry. I'm pretty sure that's February. I should have figured out when it actually is. But yeah, it's a big show, so hoping to pop along to that.
I'm going to throw a question out there to anyone who's watching,
Mm-hmm.
and this is going to be Marmite. So, what do you hate more, marketing or compliance? I think I can already answer that question, but
Will be interesting.
yeah, what do you hate more, marketing or compliance? So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be interesting to see what people say. Okay. So what are we talking about next time, Michelle? I haven't got the list in front of me. Have you
Okay, dokes.
planning for what we were going to talk about each month?
Okay, so next month is love it or hate it.
Oh yeah, what do you love and
So,
what do you hate about your business?
so
Yeah.
we're looking at love and hate in marketing, love and hate in GDPR and compliance.
Yeah. Which leads quite nicely from that question you've just asked.
It does. And actually, looking at my notes, I've just found out the 6th of February is Safer Internet Day. And
Yeah.
the 12th of February is Clean Out Your Computer Day.
There you go.
So, and then we've got the 14th being Valentine's. Isn't the 15th Single Person Day? Or something
I
to
don't know.
yeah.
I mean, for too long. Oh dear.
So
So, if anyone watching has any questions for us for February, send
yeah,
them to us. So we'll answer them on the podcast,
love,
video
yeah,
cast, whatever we're
love
calling
it,
this.
hate it, marmite.
So yeah, do you want to just tell people where they can find you, how they can get in touch with you? What's best?
So you can find me on LinkedIn, Michelle Molyneux, or on my website's michelle-molyneux.co.uk.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Okay. And you can find me on LinkedIn as well. I'm Gill Bishop, Gill with a G, and my business is CherryAid Marketing, and CherryAid is CherryAid, as in I'm helping you marketing. So you can always find me via my website as well.
So thanks everyone for spending some time with us. Running a small business is a bit of a roller coaster, and we're here to make it a bit more fun and practical. So yeah, till next time.
Till next time. Bye.
Bye.